Howdy folks, and welcome back to the official YouTube channel of Call of Duty Zombies Forums. I'm your host, NaBrZHunter, and this is the Gorod Krovi Blitzkrieg Intel Update. So I think this is an interesting opportunity to give people some more perspective on the process of going dark, because I've gone dark for Gorod Krovi as I did with s.o.p.h.i.a. So no weapons, no upgrades, no Easter egg steps of that sort. I've drawn my demarc at strictly story content, so ciphers, radios, letters. That's pretty much it. I'll probably see the cutscene. I will see how to get there, however. So if you're familiar with me from my channel, NaBrZHunter Headquarters, where I do the show Der Bunker, you'll know that the story is pretty paramount to me, and if you see me on Call of Duty Zombies forums, you know, that's my whole area. So that's pretty much all I do in general. So without further ado, we're going to talk about the ciphers and the radios that have been found in Gorod Krovi so far and highlight the great people in the community who have put in the effort to get these out there. Whereas most people are chasing the Easter egg, there are a handful that are really going after that intel. So without further ado, let's touch on the first cipher. So I have with me longtime member of the Zombies community, Lizizadolphin, as well as the well-known COD's archiver, Tac, who was up late into the night last night on the drop of Gorod Krovi with certain Personio, Nino69 or Nino69. I apologize if I botched your name there, and Water KH on COD's forums as well as on Reddit. And they're working on specifically, I believe, what they call the Leet cipher. So I'll go ahead and start with you, Tac. Tac, tell us a little bit about the Leet cipher and what it's made up of.
Yeah, so basically the Leet cipher, for anyone who doesn't understand the internet, it's pretty much just internet slang where you replace any letters with various symbols. Like a 1 and an exponential 2 makes it look like an R kind of thing. So that's pretty much how the cipher works. So then you just have to go through it and word by word just try to figure out what it's trying to say.
Okay, cool. So, and Liz, I saw your name specifically on the cipher thread on COD's forums. What was your involvement in this discovery and translation of this cipher?
Just going through on my own and adding in anything that was possibly missing, seeing what other people had put out and just adding to it. So just little additions here and there. So
tell us about kind of what happened last night, Tac.
Yeah, well, so basically there was a Reddit user named Tigra, and he, or she, just pretty much did a cipher dump where they just put a bunch of pictures up and said, I don't really know how to solve these, but you guys go ahead and try. So instantly, pretty much everybody recognized it as Leetspeak, so certain Personio just started throwing out random words, so then pretty much from there on the COD's forum and Reddit, we all just, word by word, we were like, alright, that looks like insurance, that looks like have, and then about an hour later, we had pretty much most of it.
So the plaintext of the cipher turned out to be, finally the lab is almost complete. Security measures have been put in place, so the chance of detection by the Americans is very unlikely. We also have several agents embedded with the staff as insurance. We will keep the individuals in stasis, on ice so to speak, and continue the specimen rotation once we finish drawing more power from the drill or perhaps the grid. Oh, I almost forgot. The sequencing for the current blood samples is as follows. SSMJABR. So two different things come up, and I think we'll just address them in the order they kind of appeared. Is first of all the use of the word staff. Tac, you want to talk a bit about that real quick?
Yeah, so what that pretty much is saying is that they pretty much don't want the Americans to detect this lab, and they have several agents inside the American government or infrastructure, whatever they have going on there, that's giving them info, and that's their insurance.
Okay, most interesting. I actually had not heard it put that way. And then the second thing that came up was, as I mentioned when reading the plaintext, drill or perhaps grid. Liz, you had pointed out earlier the possibility that it was grid?
Yeah, reading through some of the possible words that people were throwing out, I saw that someone had put that it was maybe grid. I originally had thought it was drill, but looking at it now, it does seem like it could possibly be grid, but drill is also a good possibility, especially since we have seen mentions of drills within the story for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes it
Okay, cool.
That makes it so difficult because, like, really reading it, it can make so much sense either way. Drawing power from the drill or just because the drill and, like, if you think about the Nuketown drill, it looks like it's really, pulling something.
Yeah.
It's pulling some power. So it's kind of...
That's true.
It's frustrating that both of them make so much sense.
And the drill that Tac refers to there is the one that appears on the Nuketown loading screen, as well as in the spawn room of Origins, or so some would say. This is a hotly debated topic, so we'll have to draw our own conclusions based on your impression. And then, Liz, y'all were pretty involved in the discussion as to the last sentence in this cipher, which I find most interesting, especially bearing in mind the announcement about the comic yesterday. You want to talk a bit about this last sentence?
Sure. The last sentence, I almost forgot. The sequencing for the current blood samples is as follows. Well, we know after the s.o.p.h.i.a Easter egg, every character had blood samples. So, with each of them now having 2, if Richtofen had the blood vials for 2 of the characters from Mob of the Dead, there are 2 other characters who we didn't have their blood. So one of the other 3 characters could have those other 2 blood samples. But then that leaves 4 more blood samples. Someone had picked up on the fact of the sequencing. It seems like it could be the initials for the Transit 4. Samuel Stuhlinger, Marlton Johnson, Abigail Brierton, and Russman. And with the announcement of the comic that we're going to be following their interaction with Richtofen while he's searching for the Chronorium and the summoning key, that it's a pretty interesting tie-in.
Honestly, I think that was a very astute observation. Who actually pointed that out again there, you said, Tac?
That was Schrodinger on CODs.
Schrodinger, okay. And I think that was an excellent observation, especially considering the fact that R for Russman is on the end there. It didn't get thrown anywhere, in the middle.
Confusing.
Like, if this is indeed the case, the odds that this, in that order, just, it makes sense. Thanks so much for watching, folks. We will see y'all next time.